Imagine getting everything you ever wanted. Great career, cool car, big salary, and finding out those things were not what you wanted. Joshua Fields Milburn got divorced and lost his mother in the same month, and it forced him to rethink what was important. He spent 8 months paring down his possessions and found less stress, less debt, and more joy as a result. His friend Ryan Nicodemus followed suit, and the two now form the Minimalists. Some 2 million people follow their work at theminimalist.com, and MIF producer Megan Kemrick sat down with them during their tour for their new book, Everything That Remains.
Ryan Nicodemus, Josh Fields Milburn, thank you for joining us on New Mexico in Focus.
Thanks for having us.
You're on a 100-city tour for your new book, Everything That Remains.
Yes.
This is City 19.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I want to start with you, Josh. You started this whole idea of minimalism when you lost your mother and you went through a divorce, I think in the same month.
Yeah, the same month. It was late 2009, and I had gotten to a point, this was about 5 years ago, and I had achieved everything I was supposed to achieve. I was the youngest director in our company's 140-year history, and I had everything that I ever wanted. But I realized that everything I ever wanted may not actually be what I want. I wasn't happy, I wasn't fulfilled, and it took those two unfortunate events to reassess what was going on in my life and eventually reprioritize.
And you left your job?
Eventually, yeah, but not right away. Actually, what I did right away was start looking at the stuff around me, all of the things in my life. There's a line in the book where, even while Rome was burning, there was time for shopping at IKEA. and because I noticed myself, like when I moved out into an apartment, I started acquiring things right away. A coffee table, a couch, a bed, a dresser, all these things. There's nothing inherently wrong with any of those things, but the problem was I wasn't even questioning what I was supposed to have. I wasn't trying to figure out what actually added value to my life. And so I spent about 8 months after discovering this thing called minimalism online, really paring down my possessions, figuring out what items added value to my life. And at the end of that, I figured that everything that I own, after jettisoning about 90% of my stuff, everything that I own serves a purpose now or brings me joy.
So you felt as you did this gradually, what was the impact on you?
Well, initially I felt much lighter, freer, happier, and then there were a lot of other benefits. It's a lot easier to clean my house as sort of a surface level benefit, less debt, less stress, less discontent or more content. Basically I got to a point where I felt better, but I don't think getting rid of the stuff was like the end result. That was just the first step, really. It was about clearing the clutter from life's path so I could try to figure out what was actually important in my life, because I had gone for so long down that path, keeping up with the Joneses, that I didn't really didn't know what was important anymore.
Now, Ryan, you guys are lifelong friends, and he eventually sort of decided to leave his job. You got laid off.
Yeah.
With very little warning.
Yeah.
No warning.
Yeah.
And you had seen him start this process. But you said on your blog or your website, this is the best thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah. If I wasn't going to get laid off, I definitely was going to leave eventually. So it was kind of serendipitous that I got laid off when I did. But yeah, I noticed this dramatic shift in Josh's attitude, and just noticed he was happier, like truly happy, ecstatic. And it was the first time I've seen him that happy in a really long time. And it caused me to ask him, like,
what's going on?
Yeah, why are you so happy? And he spent the next 20 minutes telling me about this thing called minimalism. And he talked about how he was spending the last few months simplifying his life, getting the clutter out of the way to make room for what was truly important. And he said, you might be into this. You have a lot of stuff.
What was your reaction to that?
He's right. I absolutely did have a lot of stuff. I had a 2,000 square foot condo, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2 living rooms. I have no idea why a single guy needs 2 living rooms.
Well, he had a cat.
Yeah.
We had the man cave.
Right. And
he had a cat.
I had all the stuff to fill it. Bought a shiny new car every couple of years. I had a 4-wheeler. Belonged to all these different memberships that I never used. TV in every single room. It was crazy. And yeah, I had everything I ever wanted. Had everything I was supposed to have.
But you weren't happy.
Wasn't happy. If you were to tell my 18-year-old self what my 28-year-old self was going to have. I would have been the most excited 18-year-old. Like, no way, I'm gonna have all that stuff in just 10 years. And getting everything I wanted just really helped me realize how that stuff didn't bring happiness, but instead it brought me discontent. It brought me anxiety. It brought me heaps of debt. And I was miserable. And I just got to a point where I didn't know what was important anymore. So this thing called minimalism really appealed to me. It helped me to gain a different perspective on life and really figure out what was truly important. And this whole journey really began with this thing called a packing party.
Yeah, what is that? I heard you talk about that.
Yeah, so the packing party was this. So when I announced to Josh excitedly, like, all right, man, I'm a minimalist. I was like, now what? I don't know what to do. So we came up with this idea of a packing party, and this was the idea. We would pack all my belongings as if I were moving, and then I would spend the next 3 weeks unpacking only the items I needed. So Josh literally helped me box up everything in my 2,000 square foot condo. My kitchenware, my clothes, my towels, my TVs, my electronics, my toiletries, my frame photographs and paintings, even my furniture. We literally pretended like I was
So that night you had
moving.
to unpack your toothbrush.
Right, exactly. So you can imagine, yeah, the first night I unpacked my toothbrush, bed and bed sheets, some toiletries. The next day I came home, I unpacked the internet and just different things as I needed it. And what was really enlightening with that experience was to see how little I actually used of all the things that I owned. So after that 3-week experiment, after 21 days, I had 80% of my stuff still packed in those boxes, just sitting there, unaccessed. I looked at those boxes and I couldn't even remember what was in most of them. So I donated and I sold all of it. And that's really the beginning of the minimalists.com. A month later, my entire perspective had changed. And I was like, dude, I think people will connect with this message. I think there are other people out there who are feeling overwhelmed by the lives that they've created for themselves. And this has really helped me gain a new perspective. And so we started the website.
So you have lots of essays on it, you have interviews. Are you saying to people this is the prescription you have to follow, or are you just offering your experience?
It's interesting. So
if it works.
We're out on tour right now, just talking to people, and really what we're doing is sharing a recipe. We're certainly not trying to proselytize or convert anyone to minimalism. I don't even think that's possible. But what we're trying to do is share a recipe, and even Ryan and I's recipes are different from each other's. What I've learned is that you can tweeze out certain ingredients and apply them to your own life. They're different flavors of minimalism. When I showed Ryan this thing called minimalism, at first I showed him, there was a guy named Colin Wright, who was this 24-year-old entrepreneur who traveled to a new country every 4 months, and everything he owned he carried with him in a backpack.
Wow.
And that wasn't appealing to me because I didn't desire to be a peripatetic writer going all over the world. But then there were other people like Joshua Becker, who lives in Phoenix in the suburbs in a house with his wife and 2 kids, and he has a full-time job. So completely different story there. He's in his mid-30s. Courtney Carver.
But he follows this idea.
He's definitely a minimalist, yeah. Another minimalist named Courtney Carver with her teenage daughter in Utah. And Leo Babauta, who has 6 kids and lives in the city in San Francisco. He's also a minimalist. He's like an ultra minimalist. And what I learned is that although all these people had radically different lifestyles, they had different work situations, different backgrounds, different socioeconomic statuses, they all attributed their deliberate, more meaningful lives to this thing called minimalism.
You kind of answered my question. I was say you're both single guys, no kids. But you're giving me examples of people who are very different and have kids, because I was wondering if you're going to be able to do this if you get married and have families, because kids start getting marketed to like the time they come out of the womb.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you see the kids with the iPads and everything else now. Before they can even read, they're already manipulating these devices, and they have all these advertisements are steeped in it from birth, absolutely. But yeah, there's definitely, I mean, if Leo with his 6 kids, or it's Courtney or Joshua or whoever, we have people who live all over the world now that have benefited from simplifying their lives.
Let me ask you, we live in a pretty rural, sparsely populated state, has a lot of poverty. There are a lot of people for whom being minimalist isn't necessarily a choice. Does your message resonate? Is it relevant for people like that?
Yeah, I think so. What I've found is no matter what your situation is, you can live more intentionally. So ultimately, minimalism is about making deliberate choices with your life, irrespective of where you might stand on the socioeconomic ladder. You know, with me, and we wrote about this in the book, I grew up fairly poor. And I thought the reason that we were so discontent when I was growing up was because we didn't have much money. And so by the time when I turned 18, I went out and got a sales job and figured I could make good money. And by age 19, I was making 50 grand, but I was spending 65. And that cycle continued. And what I realized, I wasn't discontent because we didn't make much money growing up. I was discontent because of the repeated poor decisions we were making. We weren't being very deliberate about the decisions we were making. And a few years ago, when I walked away from the corporate world, I made significantly less money, significantly less, but I was making much better decisions with that money. I was more financially secure, making about 15% of what I made before, because I was being intentional.
You know, we've gone through this economic crisis in the country, and frankly, New Mexico is still struggling to come out of that. Our economy is still pretty dismal. And the message we get is, you know, we've got to stimulate that economy, we've got to spend, and that's the mantra we hear. So your message seems around counter to that. Are you anti-American?
Are we anti-American?
It's sort of considered the American way to do that.
Yeah.
So how do you respond to that?
Well, what I would say is stimulating the economy kind of sounds like you're trying to fix the problem with the problem, because we got ourselves into this mess by overspending, by going into too much debt. And certainly if we stopped spending, the economy would crash also. There's definitely a middle ground, and I guess maybe that's a way you could look at minimalism. It is this middle ground where you are living more deliberately, you're spending more deliberately, you're bringing things into your life more deliberately instead of this compulsory consumption.
Is there anything, as we wrap up, that you really miss?
No.
People ask us that a lot.
What's cool about sort of the evolution that we go through as we grow and throughout our lives is our situations continue to change. So things that add value to my life today may not add value tomorrow. So it's not like I ever get to a point where I'm a minimalist. I own my 100 items and I'm done. You know, I get to a point in my life where I figure out what adds value, but that changes over time. So I bring new things in, I shed things that stop adding value to my life, and it's about being more deliberate. It's about asking that question over and over, does this add value to my life? And then that bleeds over to other areas as well, relationships, health, contributing to other people, finding ways to be more intentional with our lives.
Yeah, I can honestly say I've never been happier, and I make less money today than I did in the corporate world, and I am traveling and get to do things that I want to do, and it's just about making better choices, like Josh said earlier.
Okay. Well, thank you both for coming. We're going to continue this conversation online on the web, but thank you for coming by and talking with us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.